Okay, morning everyone. Welcome briefing on the last day of the month. File your tax return by midnight tonight and pay for it. On that joyous note, let's crack on with the weather. Okay, I'll just put the overnight chart in there so you could see the little ridge of high pressure that we had yesterday that gave us that sort of quite nice day. Slowly slipping away. These are the fronts that are coming in. There really isn't much to them, to be honest. And by lunchtime today, it should have cleared through this cold front and gone past us. I don't think there's a great deal of rain on that. You'll see at the moment, unless it suddenly pepped itself up. I think it's more a cloud feature. Post the cold front, northwesterly winds will drop a little bit, as they always do after a front goes through. Light northwesterly, it's 1028 there, hence the sort of cold front's quite weak within this high pressure. Tafts are fairly short. Refreshed fairly recently. Key bits. Farnborough 250, 11 knots. Well, that's actually probably what we've got now. 250, 270, 10 knots. Scattered at 4.5. Well, I think that actually went past us at about 8 o'clock this morning, as we're now under lower or lowering cloud. It might reappear when the front goes through. These are the important bits, the tempos and prob 30s. So tempo between 9 and 1, broken at 1200 feet. Various places like Boscombe and Benson are giving lowering cloud base. So I'll just keep an eye on those and see what it's doing upwind of us. And another tempo between 9 and 12, 8,000 meters, rain and drizzle, broken at 700 feet, because at some point the front's actually going to get to us. And then the important one, becoming any time between 12 and 3, 10 knots, which is essentially the front clearing through and it becoming properly flyable. Okay, so upper winds, northwesterly. There's sort of a bit more southwesterly down over here at the moment, but northwesterly mainly 300 degrees, 25 knots. So fairly fresh winds at flying heights after the front goes through, I would have thought. And the sat pick just refreshed itself. You can see that was the weather we had first thing this morning at 8 o'clock that went through. And these are the bands of frontal cloud. I think this actually may be the front along here, very broken, ragged. This is where the rain is sitting. But if this goes through and then we get a clearance here, we may go out and fly perhaps a bit earlier than we thought. You can see the rainfall radar. Perhaps thinking this might be the frontal system, but there's that cloud down here. So, you know, who knows exactly at the moment. We'll see what happens when we were looking out the window. Temperature wise, bit of a split here. I think probably before the front goes through, yeah, it could get up to 8-9 degrees. I think once the cold front goes through, the wind swings northwesterly, we're into this slightly colder air here, 7s and 8 degrees, with reasonable amount of wind chill, so it will feel fairly cold today. And then Top Meteor's take on it, essentially 9 to 10 o'clock. There's low cloud running from sort of Cardiff over to Oxford in that area, and that's coming down towards us. By 12 o'clock, they're reckoning it's probably clearing us. So let's hope that's right, and we'll be out and flying by that time. Then the afternoon, quite pleasant with some cumulus. Maybe not soarable, a bit like yesterday. It looked perhaps like it was soarable, but it didn't appear to be. So it should be a nice afternoon, hopefully. And that seemed to be the trend. Once we get rid of the front, it'll be a pleasant afternoon with a northwesterly wind. So hopefully we'll get something out of it. Tomorrow, let's look at the midday picture tomorrow, looking quite nice. Obviously lots of showers through the northern parts of England and Wales, but over us, fairly pleasant. And again, northwesterly wind. And Thursday, a couple of days ago, it was looking like it was going to be quite frontal. Now it looks like it's actually going to be flyable. So next couple of days look okay, folks. Okay, airspace wise, same picture as has been the last couple of days. Nothing going on in the Lasham area. One or two things further afield, but nothing really of note. If you're flying a glider, it won't be an issue. If you're flying a powered aircraft somewhere else, I suggest you check the NOTAMs yourself. With article dropping at Abingdon, other things going on. Downside of today is jet movements, and these seem to have been a bit of a postponement from yesterday and perhaps last week as well. So there's a 737 departing at 11 o'clock and a 737 departing at 15:30, and we've got flight plans for these, and it looks like a possibility of an arrival at 14:45 of a 737. That's a possibility. There's nothing filed for that one, so we do know that we've got two departures, one at 11 and one at 3:30 or thereabouts. Operationally today, I think the wind direction is going to be a bit of a rerun of yesterday. So the plan will be cables along the north side here. Launch point vehicle will be around here somewhere, with the winging gliders on the north side of the centre line, launch point vehicle just on the south side, and aero towing from the southern edge of the runway. No landing on the runway because we're too far back for that. The grass is okay. It's reasonably dry. Any areas there might be a little bit soggy right down to the south, but it's all fine in and around here. So just normal operation really for the winter, and land on the grass. Okay, folks. So a few cups of tea, I think, and then we'll keep an eye on the weather and go out and get the gliders out when we think it's going to be flyable and we're not going to get rained on or have to stop.